Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, we're all welcome today on the commute in Chicago with some wet weather. I think for the most part, farmers will take this wet weather. Pretty much good rains across most of the Midwest over the weekend. What's interesting is now the weather's going to change for the next 2 weeks, and across most of the Midwest we'll see warmer than above temperatures and maybe below normal precip. So we'll see if that's perfect for the crops, especially if rains come in after the 2-week change, or if we see some kind of trend. Beans up sharply overnight as China and U.S. blinked at the same time. They stopped the trade wars, they dropped all tariffs. They are going to come back in and buy U.S. grains, soybeans, and meat, and we'll see how much we want to add to that price. Overnight, July beans traded over initial resistance. We're up against a second level of resistance. Soybeans tend to trade in 25-cent increments. And so the 50% retracement of the July beans takes us to around 10.40. So we'll see if we can test that area on this good news. Some people think we're in a very broad trading range, up $1, down $1 in beans, depending on what happens to the U.S. supply and how quickly China comes in and starts buying U.S. beans. Over in the corn, we're back up above $4, and the initial resistance is 408. Corn usually trades in 10-cent increments, and so we'll see if we can get over that 408 area and go the next 10 cents higher. Some people think that corn's in the 50-cent range, up or down, depending upon this year's weather. But we have a good foundation underneath the corn market because of the lower supply that's expected here in the U.S. and globally. And finally, in the wheat market's trading weather. Drier conditions maybe in the southern plains over the next couple of weeks, dry conditions in Canada, and dry conditions in Australia, and maybe turning drier in Russia. So we have to watch that pretty closely, because if it turns drier in the Black Sea, you could push wheat prices quite a bit higher. The funds turned long on Friday in the wheat market. Some people think that we have an upside potential in July wheat of $1.50 with a risk of 50 cents on the downside. Hightower today wanted to buy September meal futures, 375.60. We're already above that price. Looking for a trade to 392.40 with risking something below 370.60. And it goes back to the feeling that the lower Argentina crop is going to help meal prices maybe more than anything else over the long haul. We expect about 70, maybe 75% of the corn planted as of USDA data, 80 to 83% of the spring wheat, and 54 to 57% of the soybeans planted to date. So we've got our bullish caps on today because of the China trade issue, and we'll watch weather to see how high is high. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.